Welcome to Aeroscience TV. I'm your host, Cole Simonson, and today we're doing a gear grab with bow sights. So, to start off, there are multiple companies out there that make multiple sights that are extremely good, and they'll fit any need that you want them to, from target bows to hunting bows. So, what we're kind of going to cover here today is just the basics of which ones to get, why you'd get them, and their purposes. First off, we are going to start by just explaining what the sight does and why it's there. Pretty much, you have a pin, and that pin is set at a certain yardage, and you look through your peep on your bowstring, line that pin up, and release the arrow, and that's where your arrow should end up. So on certain sites you'll have a 20-yard pin, a 30-yard pin, all the way up to even 60, 70 yards. Now, there's multiple different sights for multiple different purposes. You'll have target bows that are actually more like scopes where they kind of magnify to a certain degree. You'll have sliders that is a single pin, but it's on a mechanical wheel that you turn to your yardage, such as this one right here. I'll show you this a little bit better. Or you have your multiple pin sights, such as this one right here, where you have a pin for every yard increment that you want to go, 20, 30, 40, 50, all the way. There's multiple all the way to 7, 8 pins you can use. So let's look at these closely, and I'll explain to you what brand they are, why I use them, and just the different things about them. Here we have the Sword Judge. This is our single pin slider. As you can see, there's only one pin in there, and there is a yardage tape right here with a wheel and a lever on the side. Release that, we'll come over here, and you can move that wheel up and down if you can see that. So these are best made for longer range shots. If you have problems focusing on your single pin in a multiple pin sight, these are definitely helped me. It really pinpoints your accuracy to a certain degree. Also, they're easier to tune, in my opinion, to your ranges due to these range cards right here. And overall, my opinion, personally, I think you will be more accurate out to longer distances. Now, with this sight, it does have 3 axis points. Your axis are on a plane, so you have your parallel to the ground, your perpendicular, and your straight through. I personally take my bow and sights to pro shops to get them leveled, just because I don't have the gear here. But all it is pretty much they put it up in a vise and they put multiple levels on it and make sure that it's perfectly level with every axis. So after our single pin, we have one of the most common ones, and this is a 5 pin with multiple yardages. This is a black gold. Very good sight, definitely a good sight for beginners and intermediate. They're very accurate and easy to adjust. The only reason I switched from this sight to the Sword is due to the clutter of the pins at distances. I had problems moving towards the 50-60 yard area with getting pins covering up the target that weren't supposed to be there. But this is a great sight, especially if you're hunting under 40 yards, in my opinion. Tree stand hunting is great for multiple pin sights. They're quick and fast for targets that are at multiple distance or constantly moving before you can get them stopped. You don't have to adjust your pins at all. You just set them when you go to sight in, and that's where they're going to stay. So this is also on has 3 axis. Like I said, you'll have your parallel, perpendicular, and straight through axis. And once again, I take this one to a pro shop too to get it aligned correctly with my bow. This black gold also has a special UV light, or UV retainer, as I'd call it, in this little box here. It soaks in UV light and it brightens your pins. So the darker it is, the brighter the pins will go. The lighter it is, the darker they'll go, so you can see them better. But those are the 2 sights that I've been using. They are both extremely good, and in my opinion, at a fair price for both of them. You won't break the bank. You don't need anything terribly fancy, especially if you're just getting into this. I wouldn't recommend a sight over $100, $150, just to make sure you do enjoy archery to start out with. So, I hope you found that informative and enjoyed the show. Like I said, these are just 2 of the multiple sights out there. Don't be afraid to try different ones. Go to your pro shops. They'll be more than happy to open up a couple packages for you and let you shoot a few to figure out which ones you like the most. If you have any questions, comments, criticisms, please comment below, like, subscribe. If you have any ideas on what you want to see me do or test, or any products that you are interested in, please message me or comment. I'd be more than happy to do shows about that. And I hope you enjoyed it, and have a good day.